Hey guys, what's up? It's me, the Gaming Spinosaurus, here with another video. Today we are going to be reviewing Loki, like the title suggests. So, let's just hop right into it, shall we? So, we are going to be reviewing the Loki TV show, seeing whether it's the best Disney Plus Marvel show, or whether it falls short of the other two shows. We're going to be breaking down every single episode, talking about what I liked and what I didn't like. Then we will break down the series as a whole and see where it stands in comparison to the rest of the MCU. So let's just jump right into it, shall we? This episode is a really strong start to the series that has a lot of exposition and information to dish out in order to set up the next 5 episodes, and somehow does it without ever boring the audience or becoming overly expositional. It introduces us to our core characters of Loki and Lightning McQueen. Yes, I will be referring to Mobius as Lightning McQueen for the entire video because Owen Wilson, if you didn't know, also played Lightning McQueen. And Lightning McQueen is an icon that deserves more respect, so his name is now Lightning McQueen. I like the relationship between the two characters because Hiddleston and Wilson have brilliant chemistry, and there's some great back and forths between them which carry on a lot through the whole series, which is another big bonus. I also like the whole aesthetic of the TV era, this kind of officey vibe, but like futuristic. That's really cool. I also enjoyed a lot of the supporting characters, Hunter B-115, Casey of course, who just kind of like steals the show unintentionally. I also just like the whole concept of the show. It's a really interesting and neat concept. This kind of time travel-ish adventure, exploration of Loki's character on a deeper level that we haven't really seen yet. So, overall, a very strong start to the show, that sets up all the necessary information required without it ever feeling like a chore to watch, as well as setting the tone and giving an impression of what the series arcs will be. So, I'm giving it an 8.5 out of 10 rating. Very strong start. Really starts with a bang. So, let's move on to the next episode. This episode very much carries the momentum that the first episode has. It's this very energetic between Loki and Lightning McQueen, and they once again have a lot of great encounters, some good back and forth. Really spruces up the episodes and makes everything seem quite cool. Once again, their chemistry and good relationship is absolutely integral to the plot, because if that relationship doesn't work, the whole show doesn't work, and it works really well, which just boosts the show. The rest of the supporting characters in the TVA are also very interesting, including Renslayer, B-115, and of course Casey. I really enjoyed the partial mystery of this episode, where the Loki variant is hiding, and of course I love a good trip to Vesuvius. Yeah, it is Vesuvius that blew up Pompeii, and how Loki just completely I just love it. There's a really nice energy for the first like half an hour of the episode. I think the main issue I have with this episode is the ending. I don't know, the final 5 to 10 minutes just seems a bit lacking in some way. I don't know. Just when they get to Rock's cart, I think it is. It's Rock's cart. It just loses me a bit, which is a bit disappointing because I really enjoy the episode as a whole, right? It's really interesting, good character dynamics, all that kind of stuff, good characters, tight writing, you know, all that kind of good stuff. But like, it just seems a bit lacking in the end. But then the Sylvie reveal is really well done, and I quite like it. Overall, I think it's a really good episode, which I enjoyed. Really strong start, but I don't think it quite sticks the landing, which is quite disappointing, but you know, you can't win everything. So overall, I'd give it an 8.5 out of 10, about the same as the first episode. I think it has a stronger starting than the first episode, but I feel the first episode is consistently good throughout the entire thing. I think the second episode has a really good start, but then dips off at the end. So, shall we move on to episode 3? This episode is much slower than the previous two, and is a much deeper focus on the characters of Sylvie and Loki. Or just the character of Loki, I guess. It goes deeper into their past and how they tick, and much more. I think that is incredibly well done. However, I think the actual Lamentis stuff, you know, this whole world, you know, it's kind of boring. I'm not really a big fan of it. I think there were cooler and more interesting apocalypses they could have gone to. Maybe even like, what if they went to Ragnarok or some form of Ragnarok, right? That would be a lot more emotionally resonant to the characters. It just feels like a random apocalypse. I don't know, that's the only real issue I have with the show. The two characters completely carry the episode though, without a doubt. I think Sophie DiMartino and Tom Hiddleston are great in their roles. They have good chemistry, which is always great, and they bounce off each other really well. Very sibling-esque in this episode. That is in this episode specifically. It really works. It works because once again, if the chemistry between the characters aren't there, like, the whole show doesn't work, and it's definitely there, and you can definitely feel it, and it works really well. Overall, a slow episode that focuses a lot more on characters, which I really enjoyed. However, I feel the whole Lamentis planet and apocalypse is kind of boring, and they could have done something more interesting with it. So I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Really good, but could do with some improvements. So, episode 4 time. This episode is very much where the status quo is broken, even though there's only been 3 episodes of the status quo. It has some major reveals. Firstly, Timekeeper's revealed to be fake, and it's like definitely confirmed that all the TVA employees are variants, which is really interesting. It's a really interesting concept that I like, and I hope we get to learn variants of who. I'm pretty sure 1 or 2 of them will be a Loki variant, because it's going to happen. Loki's the main character. We've already seen loads of Loki variants. Well, we're going to see loads of Loki variants. Reviewing these in retrospect is very weird. Then we also have the pruning of Lightning McQueen, which is very emotional, but did not make me cry. Definitely did not cry. I am too manly and masculine to cry. Loki is also pruned, and then in the post-credit scene, they revealed the 3 Loki variants who look awesome, as well as the fact that you don't die when you're pruned, because Loki wakes up, of course. Then there's this weird Loki and Sylvie relationship they seem to be hinting at and explicitly talking about. I can't put my finger on whether it's weird or not. I mean, they're different people, but they're also the same person, but it's also like they're kind of siblings. It's weird. It's an odd situation. Can't put my finger on whether it's outright weird. Just a bit uncomfortable of sorts. As well, Renslayer is a bitch. The character is made deliberately to be a bitch, and it just works well. The character works well. So full props to the writers and the actress. And I'm very sorry, I will butcher this pronunciation. I can barely speak English. I think it's Gugu Mbatha-Raw? Or is it... I genuinely don't know how to pronounce that. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, which I probably did. I can barely speak English. So, but she did a really good job with the character in this episode. I also like the return of Lady Sif. That was very cool to see. Overall, a fun episode that reveals a lot of new information and is very enjoyable to watch and really breaks the status quo and sets the stakes for the last 2 episodes. So, speaking of last 2 episodes, let's go on to the penultimate episode now. This episode is absolutely batshit crazy, and it's perfect. All the Loki variants are really interesting, and most importantly, they're different, played by different actors, different races. You know, it works because, you know, it feels like they're variants, it feels like they're all different, and while we don't know loads about the characters, just the changes of appearance, changes of actors, changes of voice, changes of mannerisms, just shows how different they are. It's very entertaining. They're also all pretty interesting as well. All these different Loki variants clashing, all these different actors clashing, leads to an absolutely insane episode, jam-packed with references and fantastic moments. The highlight for me personally, and I think a lot of people, was definitely classic Loki, whose ridiculously campy and also basic costume, coupled with this I think bolsterous is the right word, extra personality, this very out there and grand personality, just creates this fantastically entertaining character who is a joy to watch all the way to his absolutely brilliant death scene where he shows the true power of a Loki, you know, completely recreating Asgard with an illusion and just screaming in the most extra way possible, glorious purpose. It's a great ending to a character we only knew for an episode, but still managed to leave an impact. Loki and Sylvie's relationship is still really odd. I can't put my finger on whether it's a sibling one, a close friend one, or a romantic one, or whether it's uncomfortable if it's a romantic one. And of course, Lightning McQueen is fucking perfect as always. Owen Wilson pulls it out the bag. It's brilliant. I also feel they handled the TVA stuff quite well. Renslayer is still kind of this villainous character, and Miss Minutes is very ambiguous, like where she stands, which is quite interesting. And Renslayer seems to have this drive to her to find out who's behind the TVA, which I quite like, and I feel that's going to be very interesting in the finale. Overall, chaotic as hell episode, but an absolute bloody joy to watch. 9.5 out of 10. So, let's move on to the finale of season 1 of Loki, because there's probably going to be a season 2. This was an absolute smash hit of a show. So, my diggity drillers, I just finished watching Loki episode 6, and Kang! Oh man. See, I had been very cautious about jumping on the Kang hype train. Despite the references, there were references to Mephisto in WandaVision, and I did not want another Mephisto, where my hopes were high for Kang, but Kang didn't appear. But Kang appeared! Oh my god. And I guess there was an episode as well. It was a good episode, I really enjoyed it. I liked the Sylvie and Loki conflict. I really liked Jonathan Majors as He Who Remains, or Kang. Oh man, Kang! Mate, honestly, I just really like the character of Kang. I played the Lego Marvel Superheroes 2 video game and fell in love with his character because he's the main villain. I just think it was a fun episode. It was really fun, really climactic. You know, I don't know. I just really enjoyed myself. Of course, Miss Minutes did know something. She was secretly evil. I knew it. And then Renslayer's now out on the wild, on the loose, and I think Kang might be in charge of the TVA again, but not He Who Remains, as in Kang the Conqueror, because his statue is like right front and center of the TVA. I don't know how that works, and of course, multiverse is now open, which is, I think, how What If links to everything, because now there's loads of branches, so that's how What If will come into play. And, you know, all the Spider-Man rumours might be true. All we need is a trailer now, but that's never going to fucking happen. Oh god, that movie is something. But, you know, that's a topic for another video. But yeah, really good. I'm not sure, I like the cliffhanger ending, but I feel like it's very bait for a season 2. Like, it literally says Loki will return in season 2. That's a bit disappointing. I wish there was a post-credit scene or something. Just something small. Like the Falcon and the Winter Soldier one, or the WandaVision ones. Just a small little hint. Just to have Doctor Strange show up, or something like that. Have Spider-Man show up. And give us the trailer. Please. Alright, please, just trailer. I need a No Way Home trailer. Even though that has nothing to do with Loki. Man, I ramble when I don't have a script. But, yeah, I really enjoyed the episode. I'd probably give it a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. Really solid episode. Thank God it stick the landing. Now to the overview. Do I think this is the best MCU TV show? I don't know. Yeah, that's it. I don't know. I think it's probably better than WandaVision. Not that WandaVision's bad or anything. I think as a whole package, WandaVision is really good. But I think this is better than WandaVision. I don't know if it's better than Falcon and the Winter Soldier in my opinion though, because I really liked Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But overall, really good series of TV. And to be honest, I wasn't expecting much from Loki. But you know, it turned out to be really good. That's great. So yeah, a really, really good piece of TV with great characters. Loki is great. Tom Hiddleston did a great job. Lightning McQueen is great. Owen Wilson did a good job. Sylvia's great. Sophie DiMartino did a good job. You know, I could go on. The list is good. Good acting, good writing, good CGI, great music. The music fucking slaps. You know, it's got all the right things. Very good series of television. Couldn't recommend more. But yeah, that's gonna do the video. If you liked it, please do smash like. Subscribe for more content. If you do subscribe, be sure to hit the bell icon to be notified whenever I upload. I've been the Gaming Science Source. You guys have been awesome, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye now.